up, dogs?
What's up, people?
Another day in paradise. It's just now it's a shared paradise.
This is true.
I got to make a woman walking this earth the luckiest girl in the world this weekend.
And you kept your hair that way. I'm happy. That hair's awesome.
Yes.
I'm surprised that the hair recovered because my daughter slammed a 9-inch round strawberry white cake all in my head.
And then I re-slammed it when it fell on the floor.
Nice.
The next day, I didn't even remember shit. And when we went back to do the, to go to the shop yet for the convention the following day, I walked in. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Because the whole office of my hair shop was covered in cake. I was like,
fight.
it looks like we had a good night last night. Now, if only I could remember a damn thing about it. But
like my wedding. Thank God we videotaped it. I went back and I'm like, the next day you don't remember anything, and they're like, "Oh, we videotaped everything." You're like, "Oh shit."
Mm-hmm.
I told my brother's wedding. I did the whole. Do you remember that wedding singer with Adam Sandler? Where he's like, remember the time we picked up those prostitutes? you said they're prostitutes. I remember paying for them.
Nice. They were cones. Oh man. So how was y'all's weekend?
Crappy. That, but
Crappy. What's most important was your weekend, bud.
Exactly.
Sorry we weren't there.
Oh, no worries. It was I know real life is real life. There's a lot of people that were gonna come and then things happened and yak. But no, that I appreciate you guys not bugging me. It's no offense to all my buddies out there, but you know, when you cancel coming and stuff, last thing I want to do is spend all weekend explaining what the fuck is going on to you. You know what I mean? I'm busy. So it was kind of getting annoying. But, you know, it was one of those like, no, I'm not going to sit here and give you a play-by-play. You should have fucking came. I don't know what to tell you. But there was a lot of people that did show up. Actually, if many more people would have showed up, they would have been standing there. So,
well, it doesn't matter. The most important one showed up, so that's all that matters.
This is Jason. Jason, the world, Jason. Well, we call it the world, but it's like what, 8-9 people that watch this at this point.
How ironic! His name is Jason, and we're gonna have topic about it, Jason.
And we'll be ranking it tonight.
Speaking of names, it's this been my best friend for over 20-something years, and I'm Michael, and he's Jason, and he just showed me this doozy. If you want to show these guys,
Sure.
Check this out.
Bring that in a little bit.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Oh my Lord!
Look at that. Now that's nice.
That's awesome. Ah!
Michael and Jason
sitting in a tree.
Sitting in the tree.
Oh man,
that's awesome.
I'm so glad that was documented.
How long have you had that, Jason? That looks really sharp. The artists look really.
Yeah,
good.
actually, the guy that did it, man, he did a great job. Even when I showed Michael Moran it, I did it again.
He was calling Tony Moran.
I kept calling him Michael Moran
all fucking weekend, and I'm sitting there going,
I got Michael Myers in my head, and then I keep saying Michael Moran because I got Michael Myers in my head, and it's when I showed Tony Moran. And then he's like, he even complimented on it because he's like, that's one of the best masks I've ever seen because usually they fuck up like the cheeks or something or whatever. It doesn't really look good. And then the guy that did mine is up in Michigan. He's a great artist. He did like the whole face was done single needle. He was meticulous about it, so he did really good.
Nice.
That was nice. Yeah, one of these days I'll go get one. I've been for years. I've got a tattoo in years, but that's probably one I got to go get one of these days.
I haven't got one yet either because it's too important. And it's hard to think of what I would do. Sometimes I think the movie cover would be the best. And sometimes I think Michael Myers would be the best. But if they fuck that up, that'll really suck. Because I've seen some real bad ones.
Oh, so have I. Yes.
And then there's a lot of people that think they do a good job because they make him look like a comic book character or something. But it's like, no, I think you really want it to look as true and real as possible, in my opinion. So...
almost portrait style.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, no, it was a crazy weekend, and I got let me see if I can make some pictures pop up on the thing here.
How's the shop hold up after everything? Okay.
Everything's still intact.
To an extent.
To an extent.
We got Mr. Tony Moran playing the pinball machine at the shop.
I
saw
saw it
that
on social
today.
media. It was awesome.
Yeah. So that
Your
was
face
cool.
is priceless there. You're like, "Ugh."
I know. I'm sitting there. If I zoom in on this, I wonder why the hell I'm looking like the Terrifier clown.
Yeah.
Oh, you so are. Yes, you are.
You are with that. Your mouth is like open at the right spot to do it. Yeah. Oh man.
And then I had so he was walking around. Oh my God. When during the reception, he comes up to me with this garbage bag, right? And he's like, "Here, I got a present for you." And the motherfucker just kept pulling shit out left and right. And he was like, he gave me like 10 different fucking Halloween items signed by him.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The chef's knife signed by him.
Yeah.
They got him.
Made these awesome custom cups
Custom
that said
cups.
Mike in April, November 11th on them and stuff.
With like blood dripping down the rim and all the way down and shit. It was really nice. He gave him a lot of shit.
Wow.
And then, oh man, there was like a bunch of trick or treat items and knives and stuff like that. And a trick or treat mask from Halloween 1 he signed for me. And it was just all kinds of shit. But he was having a great time and we became pretty good friends real quick. And he must have hugged me and said, "I love you" like 8 times that night.
Love you, man.
It was fucking great. And then some a random tidbit little bonus. He had this woman fly in with him, and all of a sudden it's like, where is she from? Because she looks familiar. And then if you remember in the original Scream movie, when Neve Campbell goes into the bathroom stall, and then the cheerleader and the brunette come into the bathroom and they're talking about her, and it makes her cry, and then they leave, and she comes out of the stall. She was there. So the brunette from the bathroom scene in Scream was there.
Yeah, her name's Nancy Ann Ritter. That's the scene from Scream. She was there with me too.
Yeah. And so she signed my Scream poster, which was pretty unforeseen for sure.
And she was a real sweetheart too. She videoed the whole wedding and videoed the whole ceremony and everything, and she's gonna make sure we get all our copies and everything when they get back to the computer. Yeah.
She wasn't the best camera person in the world. She did a good job though. But there's some moments where she just like filming the top corner of someone's forehead and shit. And you're going, "Are you on the same planet with us, my love?"
Is that a mole?
I think she was trying to more get the memorabilia than him.
Yeah, I hope I didn't sound like I'm making fun. She's great.
No, she was a
jokes.
true sweetheart. She was really nice.
You kid.
Tony was awesome. He was cool as hell. He was real personable. The next day when he came in after the wedding for the signing, he was like super excited to see everybody. Remembered like everybody's name.
Yeah, that
came up to everybody. He's like, "Hey, Jason, how you doing?" Hey, like everybody that was there the night before who he met, remembered their names. Made sure he went out of his way to talk to everybody.
Nice.
He was super cool, super nice guy. Nancy also, she was great.
Yeah, and then Cherie Currie, the singer from the Runaways, the following day at the convention, she was a blast. She came up and I was told that she wasn't going to be able to do any music because the weather changed and everything. So the music idea kind of got kiboshed. And she came up to me because we were going to do it all outside, but it's like freezing and windy all of a sudden. And the weather, the prediction changed every other day leading up to the past 2 weeks. But she came up to me and was like, "I heard you're a guitar player. If you got some acoustics, we could, we could sit down and do a set, and we could do some Runaways songs. I'll do Cherry Bomb." And I'm sitting there going, "Motherfucker," because I didn't learn any of the tunes. I wasn't expecting that. I was told it was kiboshed. I wish I would have learned the songs, and then that would have been a good opportunity. But she is big about, she had a great time. Everybody's expectations were exceeded at the shop with how busy it got. And oh man, there were thousands of people floating in and out of that place Saturday. And they made their amount to meet guarantees all in the first day, which they're doing a second day today. But they made all their money in the first day. So they're real happy. She said, "Oh, we can plan something. I'll come back and just have me back here and we'll plan something in Yak Yak Yak." I'm like, hell yeah. And she was telling us all kinds of stories about being married to the dude from Airplane.
Yep, Ted Stryker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she was telling us all about that. And she was just, man, she was cool.
She seemed to like me a bit.
There you go.
Cherry bomb. She needed her cherry bombed.
Hey, you know what? I don't care. I still would have done it.
Hey, I just realized I could put that right there and it's still my face. Well, I never
This is
noticed
true.
that.
Never noticed that, did you?
No. Oh man, but no, it was a trip. And it did go off without a hitch, and it was a great success. So now I get to plan plenty more, and hopefully I do one every month, every 2 months, something like that. Because the following was great.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We actually had a couple people. We had two girls come. They drove 13 hours from Nashville just to come to the
Nashville.
shop.
Yeah.
Just for that
Jeez.
sign.
Wow.
Yep.
We had somebody drove what do you say, 8 hours from Oklahoma just to come down to
Mhm.
the shop.
And then we had visitors from Atlanta,
Atlanta.
and then obviously Jason came down from Detroit.
Well, I came down for you, not for the shop. But
Well,
yeah.
yeah, but they came down for the shop. But yeah, it was pretty wild, and it was pretty heart-wrenching watching this couple that drove from Nashville to see the shop and meet Cherie Curry and all this other stuff. And she was they were talking to her and they were just losing it. There's some
The one I'm part, I guess. Well, they were an LGBT couple, whatever. And then she was like, yeah, I'm Cherie's biggest fan. I've read her book like 100 times. Like, she's been a huge influence, blah, 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 blah. And just the human interaction between them, it was really sweet.
Mm-hmm. It was great though, but you got to sit there because usually you do the conventions and you see the celebrities for a little bit and then you go back to work. But being right in the shop with me, I was able to sit there and experience kind of like what that day looks like for them. And you're just sitting there going, oh my God, like, do I want to be famous? I don't. Everybody that comes up is all doing the same shit and asking the same questions, and they all look nervous as a motherfucker, and you can't get a conversation out of a person.
It's nonstop, right? It's just
oh man, and you're just sitting there. You're sitting there going, "Come on, man! No wonder he did a little rant online. People are acting like this dude's the president of the United States and shit." And it's hard because you're sitting there going, all right, yep, I'm the greatest thing walking. Your whole life, I saved your life when you're 14 because of that bit I did in this movie. And you're sitting there going, fuck off. Like, no way. Give me a break.
Do you ever see the one guy that met Hulk Hogan? The kid goes like, he's like, you helped me stay out of gangs, man.
Oh, yeah?
I was like, you imagine somebody saying that to Tony Moran, you helped me stay out of gangs.
You helped me kill my sister.
Yeah.
I lost my virginity because of you.
But now, before the wedding, Tony took me off to the side and said, hey, before the wedding, I was going to need to talk to April privately for a minute. And I'm like, hey, what you mean?
What's going on here?
Yeah, I'm like, hey, of course. And then when April walked down the aisle, Tony put the mask on. I didn't even notice that I was looking at April. And while everyone was looking at the bride coming down the aisle, he puts the mask on. And then they had worked it out to where once she got up to the aisle, he like starts choking her and she starts choking him and then rips his mask off like Jamie Lee Curtis in the movie.
Yeah, they basically recreated the whole scene right there at the altar.
Yeah. So that was kind of like a really cool thing. And then he started the ceremony and he did a great job. And he actually cried a couple times because it was emotional. Actually, everybody did just about. So you knew it was a great success.
So you got it all on video. You guys did. You had a videographer, or she did that?
There was a couple people videoing it. The Nancy, the one that came with Tony, she did the main, like, from the walk-in and everything else.
Okay.
So they couldn't. It was too big of a file to like text or email from the phone. So when they get home, they're gonna compress it and email it.
Yeah, so between everybody, I had a bunch of people film the thing, and then the reception was fucking crazy. That went off really well. And
Yeah.
that turned out to be a serious party from what I was told.
You're waiting to see the video so you can see what happened. Oh man, it sounded like it was fun. I wish I was there.
Oh, it was a
you were
blast,
there.
man. We did me and him spent the night before like for 2-3 hours trying to figure out what we're gonna do for a playlist and
Thanks,
whatever
Phillip.
else and whatnot. And he's like, well, I was like, well, it's a wedding reception. You got to have dancing, whatever. It was like, I know the people that are gonna be there. Ain't nobody gonna be dancing.
That's what I thought.
And then everybody's sitting around at the tables. Mike's got the music going. It's like our style of music, whatever. And it's like nothing happened. I was like, so I got up, I went over, I took over the music and that, and then within 2 minutes, I had every single person on the damn dance floor for the rest of the night.
Well, I went in there wanting to personalize the whole situation, and I was picking like
You got to read the crowd. And play it.
80s music and shit that I wanted to fucking hear.
No, you got
Not
to read the crowd
KSAD
and
by
play- you gotta
Sepultura,
read the
right?
crowd and play to the room, man.
Then all of a sudden he plays like "Who Licked the Dog's Mouth" or whatever that fucking song's called. And then people start jumping up and dancing. I'm like, well, fuck me. I'm not a DJ. I'm a musician with talent. I'm not a fucking DJ.
You got to read the room and play to the crowd, bro.
Mm.
Whether you like the music or not, it's what they want.
Yeah, that sounds like an employee's mindset. Oh no, it was gangster, man. It went off really well, and I can't believe how much Tony Moran gave me. It was like damn near half of what he cost.
Wow,
Dude, that's
cool.
awesome.
That's awesome.
So, but we got a cool podcast this evening too, though. We got some pretty good subjects. I know you guys gave me the benefit of the doubt and let me do my thing, so y'all kind of planned it. But then when I got the list of what we're doing, I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I've been waiting for right here. That's personally is the Friday the 13th ranking.
Well, it would have been even easier. There would have been no homework, but as most people that probably saw when I posted this, Dustin McNeil, author of Taking Shape 1 and 2, was scheduled, and he reached out to me yesterday. He was sick as a dog, so he's going to reschedule.
Big is better.
Yeah, he sounded horrible, and he was upset about not coming on, but because he's looking forward to it, but probably after Thanksgiving, he said, because next 2 weeks he's busy. So, wish get better soon, and we'll definitely have him on. So then we put this together at the last minute.
And tomorrow we're going to do the Halloween 4.
H4
Another Michael special there. So.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. If anything changed, we were talking about doing that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I would be totally down. And a good pal of mine, Mr. Chris Ackerman. Well, Chris, he's a big collector in the Halloween world. He travels with the military, so he wasn't able to make it down. He's on all kinds of different trips they got him on right now. But he ended up sending me a movie theater popcorn maker.
Yeah.
A full-blown, like, fucking, and you're sitting there going, right on. So April went to the store today, got everything we need for that. So I'll just set that motherfucker up in here and be ready for a movie night tomorrow night for sure.
And it's your favorite sequel, right?
Is that gonna be done like Mystery Science Theater 3000 style?
It is kind of like that, yes. Because
yeah.
we watched a movie and we play it. We tell people where to press play so that they're watching it the same. But the copyright, we can't obviously play it directly on the thing. So we tell them where to press play, and then they're watching the movie while we're watching the movie, and we're commenting along with it. And so.
Yeah, we started with the first Halloween on Halloween night. It was on a Monday.
And is that my wedding present from you guys? You skipped Halloween 3?
Yes, and it's your post. It's kind of like the Halloween podcast post-wedding bachelor party, if there's such a thing. But anyway, just kidding.
Well, I was just waiting to see if Pat was going to jump up and start dancing or something, or one of you was going to come out of a cake and just.
I got to do that in person.
Ask Brett. Ask Brett. Thursday night, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was still looking for like a decent flight because I'm like, I so want to just walk in and surprise the shit out of him.
That would have surprised the hell out of me for sure.
One day. Take us in, please.
Yeah, because Brett and I were looking, and I'm like, fuck, man. If it wasn't such a long drive, I would have just fucking drove, but it's too far.
Yeah, that's a hike. Look at that. Why are the tabs different? It was the same case.
No, one was a different case.
Oh, okay.
We're on case number 2. We're we're on the sequel, part 2.
We're on like the trilogy or the series. There's
Oh,
been a
man.
few cases so far in the last couple of days.
And it's been wake and drink too, man. It's been like, oh, I feel like shit, and we got a convention to do today. I don't remember anything. Well, obviously, you know the cure for that. So we just start fucking pounding alcohol at fucking 10 a.m. and just we're back like we had fucking last night by fucking 11:30, and then carry that shit on until midnight that night.
Well, you can't drink all day if you don't
Scream.
start first thing in the morning.
Exactly.
If we were there, we'd be screaming, "Nice ass!"
Nice ass.
Hair of the dog.
Cheers, gang. Cheers.
Cheers. I like the Halloween koozie.
Yeah, another one of those bootlegs from some convention. You know, it's pretty badass. I
See,
love
that's how you make money. See, I'm working too hard in that shop selling officially licensed shit. All I got to do is get a printer, make whatever I want, sell it. But you get in big trouble, you get caught with that jazz.
Yeah,
In big
our
trouble.
luck, we'd get in trouble.
Oh, so bad. I would so be the first person caught. That's just my fucking luck.
That's how I feel about it too.
Yeah, not worth it.
Oh man.
But well, you kind of told us all the new things going on at Michael's Horrid Pinball, especially all the stuff this weekend.
Well, I want to show. I want next weekend when everything's a little bit more organized, because I have one of my cars is still over at the shop right now, and like I got to put my shit back together starting tomorrow.
You got to take me to the airport in the morning.
So yeah, once I get all that figured out, tomorrow's kind of like the get everything cleaned up kind of day that I'm not looking forward to. But once I do that, I'll get everything together and show you guys the all the stuff Tony gave me and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to it.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Plus, by this time next weekend, I have a $7,000 Trick or Treat Studios order coming to the shop. And dig this. You'll be happy to know that I was kind of surprised how much it was, because with Trick or Treat, you order everything you want, including stuff that doesn't even exist yet, right? And then when you just to get your name on the list, because once it comes available, they email you and say, "Hey, this showed up. Are you ready for it?" So you're kind of like pre-ordered and on the list. And so I placed a big order and was expecting it to be like $3,000 less than it was. And then they hit me with those H2 figures will be on the truck.
Oh, cool.
So those will be here the 15th. And then there was actually a bunch of stuff. I'll get into it next weekend, but all that stuff will be here by next weekend. So anybody ready to take those? We're looking to sell them.
Nice. Then the next one after that's what, H6, right? Of the figures?
Yeah.
H6.
Mm-hmm. Then they got the H6. And there's some they did like almost the entire line, the roster for all the House of 1,000 Corpses. You know, the Captain Spaulding one they have out that's kind of like G.I. Joe figure status.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's got the little cardboard backing and the plastic, kind of like a G.I. Joe figure, but it's Captain Spaulding. They got all the other characters, it seems like Dr. Satan and Baby and Otis and all of them coming out all at once, too.
Hold on to your wallets.
Yep, get your wallets ready, gang. I know I have.
It's a bummer those things, they raised the price on those things. So what are they, 200 now, huh? Man.
The 6 scale figures, yeah. Yeah, I think the H2 ones are $200. But the 2018 one was
it's like another $20 more. I think that was about it, right? Or maybe more. I don't know.
even the 2018 one back in the day was is $180.
Yeah.
And that's been out for a year plus. And then I think the H4 one and the H5 ones were even like $170, $180.
Yeah, the H1s and H4 and 5s all came out at once, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but for some reason, like the H1s are only like 120. And then the other ones are a lot more.
They're very nicely made, all of them, though. They're badass.
Yeah, Big Dave's got it. The Kills pre-orders out there. All kinds of
Dave.
shit.
Hey, Dave.
Dave.
Big Dave.
Dave's a killer. Total slap shot.
So
No,
do you have any,
what do you guys want to chat about?
you have anything new, Brady, that came in?
I do, and I think I was telling Patrick about this. Michael might even like something like this. Might have to remember. Got this from our buddy at Joe's Attic. Take a look at this thing. The Victor
Whoa!
drug. Sorry if there's a glare, but it's a Victor or Vincent drug advertisement from each.
Is that an 11 by 17 poster?
11 by 17? Yeah.
Too cool.
Yeah, Jack's Attic's great, and they're affordable too. What was it like? They're only like $17.
He puts this nice personal letter.
Yeah,
Sorry,
he's
I got
good.
a little glare.
He
Thanks
makes a
for
lot
the
of cool
business
stuff.
and all that. Yeah, he's got some nice writing too. That's all I got.
Uber cool.
What I got is, let's see, this week wasn't expecting anything to even come in, but stuff came in. Some Halloween wrapping paper.
Uh-huh.
That's huge.
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 Got some H1. Actually, I didn't take out the plastic yet. Some new H1 socks.
Huge.
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 No, actually, they're never huge. I can never wear these socks. For some reason, they don't make them for people with big feet. They never fit right.
They always got that adult one size. I've never
Which
heard
does not fucking fit. I'm sorry.
What is OS? That's the size. It says adult OS, and you're like, what the hell
One
does
size?
that mean?
One side.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
got the
I didn't know that.
Smiths Grove Sanitarium.
Oh, from Universal Studios, right?
Yeah, because they discounted everything. It was like $4 or $5.
Yeah, it all went before I can get on there.
Yeah, all that was left was this and the glasses. I got 2 more of the glasses, but you've seen them already. They're over.
Big Dave. I appreciate the congrats on the prison escape. Well, the prison journey.
Now it's going to spend the next 30 years trying to escape.
That's right.
And that, I believe, is that is it. That's all I got. That was it. Slow, not a slow week, but much more affordable than normal, thankfully.
Mhm.
Yeah, so there's a benefit in there somewhere. Either way.
Yeah, Christmas is coming. I gotta mellow out.
Well, you got
So-
the wrapping paper. You're all halfway there.
Got that wrapping paper.
Nice.
So tonight we could rank our Friday the 13th movies. We could do the ranking. We got our top 5. See what we were trying to think of stuff last night when it was short notice because of the cancellation. So what about our top 5 media covers? So I just basically looked through all the Halloween media I have and just grabbed 5 things that I like the best. So
Same
you
here.
guys can just rattle off the top of your head. And we also are going to do our top 5 comedians that were in horror. And we were like worried about it. Maybe there isn't a lot, but you do your research. It's actually more than I thought. Some I forgot about.
Yeah.
I was like,
We were-
holy shit.
We were
like Brett-
talking about that too. And he, like, there's some of them where it's like, I've never even seen that one. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I have. And I was like, oh, dude, they're pretty
Yeah.
badass.
So it was an eye opener. So it was educational too on top of it. So what do you guys want to head first? You guys want to do a ranking? We can show the media, wherever you
Let
guys.
the new married man decide. What do you want to do, Michael, first? What do you think?
Well, I don't want to be lame, but let's do the media one. But I'm just going to have to say mine because I didn't have a chance to collect anything or show everybody what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
But which is going to be kind of, I hope it doesn't sound lame, but we'll do it anyway on my end because you guys probably have them to show, right?
Except
Yeah,
for one. Couldn't find one.
I just looked through what I had. I didn't go online and research because there's obviously ones that are really cool that I don't have. So I figured let me just go through what 5 of them that I have that I like, because I don't have a ton of the. Michael has got you got those fucking walls of those videotapes. So there's so many different covers.
Which is why
That's
I would have
it's a
loved
daunting
if I
task.
could do that. Yeah.
I don't have as many as that, but so I can go. What did I wrote them down in order. I have them in a pile over here. One second. I wrote all my notes down. If I don't write shit down.
Yeah, there's probably so many overseas ones and things I've never even seen before. Be like, oh,
Well,
that's
there is.
probably pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
there are
there's
some
really
I like
cool
that I don't have.
covers too. That like the way they design them and stuff. And I could sit here and say to you, like, oh, it's the cover where it's Halloween 4 and it looks like a refractor basketball card and it's got the rainbow reflection on it, but it'll be just me explaining what it looks like.
We
That's
might
fine.
have to revisit that when you're in your shop because I might go through them and be like, oh, here's this.
Oh, we could do a whole episode on all the ones you got in that friggin' job.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
yeah.
I
That'd be
just looked
great.
around, and of course, this is Michael's favorite movie, Halloween 3. I always love this artwork. I like it better than the trick or treaters.
Ah.
And you know what's cool about that artwork? is that I literally have, well, I say literally, but it's like probably around 13 or 14 VHS covers of that.
It's
But
all
every
Japanese.
one of them is different from a different language and stuff too.
Nice.
Yeah, I like this cover art better than the other than just the trick or treaters walking. And shout out to the great Tom Atkins. Today is his 87th birthday.
87. Yes.
Right.
And I didn't even realize, because we already talked about Creepshow. I didn't mean to change subject. It turns 40 this next month.
I know. I saw that.
Yeah.
We got to
I
do
was
something
like,
for
dang.
Creepshow.
We could do a whole Creepshow
Definitely watch
episode.
along. We'll do a watch along.
Oh hell yeah! Let's do that.
Are you going to be okay suffering through the first one, Mr. Brett? That the
Oh,
second
you're
one's
still
so much
upset about
fucking
that?
better?
You had
He
to
took,
leave
you,
the room.
he took you out of the, he took you out of the will because of that.
I watched the video back and my eyes rolled up like I was about to faint. Like, I'm
Okay.
like,
This one might make you feel better. I'll do my 5th cover. So we've always talked about how we love Halloween 4, right? Because they use the mask really from the first. It's not the mask from the movie, but I
gorgeous.
love this cover. Where it's
very
all weird.
cool.
Very
I
cool.
love this one. This is even because it's more true to the movie with that mask. But yes, this is my number 5. I love this cover.
Can you think of one off the top of your head there, Michael? For your number
So
five?
I'll just join the conversation, but I'll say I like, and maybe I should just group them all into one, but actually no. My number 5 would be the Laserdisc for part 6. And it was I wish I could describe it. It's such a unique cover.
Is it the imported one with the 6s?
It's
No.
imported, yes, but it's like a blue. It looks like a record. There's all these different faces from the characters on it.
I don't know which
You
one
know,
it
I
is.
should just-
That's
I
not the
should just-
Japanese one. The Japanese one is the one that Brett's thinking of.
I should
okay.
just look it up real quick. But don't wait for me, please.
Well, I can go. My number 4 which I thought was simple, but I love this cover art. Was the Best Buy Halloween '78 exclusive steelbook.
Yeah,
I always loved this with all the leaves in the background.
that one's cool.
Yeah, I mean it's simple, but it's just a great image, and I just thought this was awesome.
Got it. This one.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
Oh, that's right.
I see
Yeah.
it right here.
Yeah, you brought that up when we did the laser discs. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, I got
What
that
kind of
one. at
knife
the
is
shop.
that, huh? That knife is priceless on there. It looks like one from one of the Jason films, doesn't it?
It looks amazing. I love that one.
What do I got here? Okay. I actually do. This is a common cover now. I do like the black and white H2 cover
Mm-hmm.
from Universal. I just think that's kind of cool. I was sure Jamie
Doesn't
Lee's
suck
right
to
in the
have all
face
those
right there.
signatures on it either, eh?
That always helps.
Oh yeah, that helps too. Yep, that's before I got into getting all the posters signed. So that's my number 4.
Very cool.
All right. I got, where did it go? Hold on. Just disappeared on me. That one.
Very cool.
And all the laser discs are my favorite because like the photograph is so much bigger because it's a laser disc size. But with this one, I got a hard shell clam case VHS with it
Mhm.
and a laser disc, and it's the most iconic looking thing.
That was the one that I couldn't find that I wanted to put on my list too, Michael. So I'm with you on that one.
Perfect.
Cool. And I'm going with what we'll be watching tomorrow night, but more specifically, the German lenticular cover.
Oh,
one's
those are
crazy looking.
badass. Do you have all of them?
Yeah, and it's hard. It's hard to see the lenticular on this, but I just love these. I could have picked all 3 of them.
The
Oh,
H3
free.
one looks so weird.
Yeah, well, there's a part. There's 3, 4, 5. Actually, 4. There's 4.
You got part
3,
6
4,
too,
5.
right?
And part 6, yeah. Which was odd because it's a larger box. I don't know why the box changed, but I just thought this was great art. All of them. I wish they would have just finished the whole series in this. So I thought that was great. Very cool. That is number 3.
What do we got? Number 3 here is that black and white VHS where you can barely see his face. Or
Oh,
black and
very
gold,
cool.
that's what she- This is a beautiful thing. even with the orange tapes in there too.
You
Woo!
still got the keychain?
Don't you know it? Don't you?
You better have that keychain.
The only thing I don't think I have is a little postcard in here. Maybe I
Oh, the
do.
postcard, you don't have it? Yeah. Well, speaking
Oh,
of
no,
that,
I do. The book.
There you
and
go.
those, yeah.
Speaking of that videotape, I was just speaking to the great James Chandler, who was thanked on that because he lent all the art. Him and Billy Kirkus lent the artwork, and he wants to come on, James Chandler.
Nice, nice.
So I just got to find out when he's available to come on and talk about, because he's got a nice collection. He's got a lot of shit that he got while working with Trancas on that set too. So he's interested in coming on. So that's going to be pretty cool.
Very
I
cool.
want to find I apologize, I can't see it. I can't find it yet, but there's a VHS cover that's really rare. And I want to say what it says. Like, it's a foreign one, but it says, it looks like it says like bologna or some shit. Like, it's all Greek. Like, I don't fucking know. But on the cover, it's just a red background and it's got PJ Souls like.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I know the one you're
that's
talking
a
about.
popular one. Yeah.
That's a popular
Yes,
one.
and
Yep, I
then
don't
there
have it.
was like 3 different versions of it. There was the one I have, and then there's a couple that are like rainbow borders around it that are like really rare. That
I
are
know
like
exactly one.
okay,
Yep.
so to put it into perspective, though, those VHSs they cost between like $700 and $1,200 a piece.
Yeah, they're not cheap, those. That's why I don't have them. There's a reason why they're not behind me.
Nope.
Yeah, sorry. So my number 2 is number 2. Screen Factory, the Steelbook.
Huge.
Huge. Love this cover art of him on fire. Actually, it's better with the actual poster where it's widescreen and you can see Laurie hiding behind the gurney.
Yeah.
So that's actually better than just seeing this image. But I always thought that image was fantastic.
Yeah,
It's
the
awesome.
landscape one, right?
The landscape one. That's great. That is my number 2. Halloween 2.
My number 2 is the one that Michael's talking about. That's mostly on that laser disc, where he's at the top of steps looking down, the pumpkins in the center. Great cover. I think that's what, a Japanese cover, right?
Japanese.
Mhm.
I think I'm turning Japanese.
Oh,
And then we're doing number 2 right now, right?
You're doing a number 2?
Can
Attaboy.
you, wait, can you see
What?
that?
Good morning,
Number
Grace.
1, I ordered you to go take a number 2.
Nice. Attention. We're looking for the chick with big boobs.
We are ready to do you now.
That's my number 2.
Oh, yeah. The
The
box
box
set.
set, yeah.
Don't look anything like that.
Classic, but artistic at the same time. And of course, owning that Blu-ray set and having it only cost like $100 when you bought it.
At Amazon or wherever. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now people want like $800 to $1,000 for it. You're like, good investment. If only every investment I did was that profitable.
I remember it
What do
was
you
a
think
Prime Day special when it was like $100. I think I spent retail. Was it $130? I think that
It was like $130, $140 or something
Yeah,
like
it
that.
wasn't
when
shit.
Retail wasn't
Huge.
bad at all. Well, you know what? All the Halloween stuff's an investment because, I mean, there's not many of the things here that actually go down in value, fortunately. Knock wood.
Have you guys been seeing the market, the Halloween market declining at all because the Halloween ends?
Not really.
seems like
at
it's-
least I haven't
no.
paid attention, but
It's slowed down. It's definitely slowed down.
Yeah, it seems like now I've seen some Ghost Bobs going for like $280 and some
Damn.
Evolutions of Evil were going for like $200. Are you guys seeing this?
I haven't really looked. I probably should, but
Yeah, I haven't been watching the. Be honest,
Which
if I
is
start looking, I'll
exciting.
spend more money.
Because if you remember the big VHS to DVD changeover, the good thing about, or the DVD to Blu-ray changeover, I made out like a bandit because I collected all those things. And then once it switched to the next platform, all the stuff I wanted got discounted. Like now
Right.
the VHSs are like, they got them in bins for $5. And the DVDs, when Blu-ray came out, they got them in bins for $5. And you're sitting there going, and then all of a sudden you can quadruple your collection in no time with no effort.
It'll all be worth money because look at that happened with vinyl. When vinyl,
And then
went
it all
way
comes
up.
right the fuck
Now,
back.
vinyl is collectible, and people used to go to flea markets, garage sales, and get albums for $1, 50 cents. And now Vinyl's collectible again.
Exactly.
So hang on to everything if you can. And my number one is a little uneventful because both of you had it on your list.
Aha.
But it's classic.
Well, I think that's the only one that all three of us had on there.
Yeah,
possibly.
This is easily my number one.
And what's rad for people who don't know that what is it? What does it stand for? The acronym OBI?
OBI, yeah.
What does that stand for?
There's actually a Japanese word for it, but everybody usually just calls it outer band insert. So
Outer band insert. So show them the cover. That white strip right there is not it's not connected to it. It's a separate thing that comes off. That white strip right there.
Yeah, doesn't Mondo do that with their albums or a handful of places?
Yeah, like
Mondo was doing it, yeah.
Yeah, I got the books and they got the books do that. But those are really cool. And then, it makes it more rare when you have those connected to the Laserdisc still.
Nice.
Big time. So that's well, did you guys see your number one?
My number one, it's the extended edition. It was a Best Buy one that came with the film cell.
Interesting.
Love this cover.
Mm-hmm.
Love this cover. Half of his face is gone, or blacked out, I should say. It's my number one.
Well, I don't want to be cliche. I'll be honest with you. In my opinion, the number one most iconic media cover Halloween movie, and it's got to be like tied with the original Pumpkin, Stabbing Pumpkin, obviously from the original cover. But another one that's big is the Halloween 4 cover. How beautiful the mask is, and I know everybody's obsessed with that mask that's on the cover of that. But those, in my opinion, those two are the best ones. But we're doing our favorite ones. And this is my favorite, as simple as it looks.
Yeah, the regular set, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that set. That's right.
Yeah, just that picture right there and the way they made it look worn out and all these other things. That's my favorite. But I think if I had to pick, obviously I think the best would be the number one Pumpkin, Bob Gleason picture. And then I think,
which I just learned something new about this weekend from Tony Moran himself that I never knew before, was the hand that's holding the knife and the pumpkin slash. If you look at it, it actually forms a face.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that.
Which is actually totally unintentional because the artist said, he's like, I didn't intend that to be there. That was like a
I had no idea. And then Tony Moran himself is the one who pointed it out to me. I was like, holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people were saying it was a nod to Black Christmas because it looks like the girl who was suffocated and sitting in the friggin' rocking chair. Because she has the cellophane over her face the whole time, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's a nod to Black." It's just a happy accident. Even the artist said it, but it's cool as hell.
You make it sound like Bob Ross painted it.
Yeah, we got to paint a dead little face here.
With all those out of the country covers, I bet you could find 5 ones that are pretty atrocious too. So it'd probably be fun to do 5 terrible ones.
We could do that. There are some that are pretty fucking bad. There are some.
I do have an honorable mention too. Was one of the foreign ones from part 6, and I don't remember the country, but it's the mask. But then the eyes are a naked lady going inside of the eyeballs. And
right.
They got her drawn butt naked and everything else. They show everything. It's a different world than the other countries.
Sounds like maybe Germany or something.
And
That's what I think it is.
Obviously, an honorable mention is Rob Zombie's Halloween, the first one too. But that's the cover that they did everywhere. Where you got all the collages inside there.
Yeah, it's funny because you have to look at it and find all. It's like, where's Waldo? You can just find all the shit in the cover.
And you still come across stuff you never noticed was there every day if you look at it.
Yeah, that was definitely a lot of fun. People can be indifferent about that film. I like it, but the cover is definitely cool.
I didn't even realize Adrienne Barbeau's on the cover, and she was in the deleted scene.
All right,
Jesus.
Right? She didn't even make it in the film.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame. Wild. Good old Adrienne Barbeau. Just tell them to call you Billy.
Henry.
Yeah, bro.
But that one's not as good as part 2, is it, Brett?
Oh, he's gonna be living that one down.
I'm sorry, dude. Oh man,
we will have
the
creep show watch along.
If it wasn't for that raft scene, I'd have booed you right off the stage. But
that's why I like it more. That's why I like it more, big time.
That's what I was gonna say. Every time I go to complain, I remember that raft scene where she falls asleep and he grabs on her tater tots.
I remember I got you all riled up when we were talking Friday. I think I said in a comment, it was when I was before I was on with you guys. I said like Friday the 13th 5 was their Halloween 3. You're like, what the fuck?
Oh, that'll piss a motherfucker off in like 5 seconds or less. And I have victims on my phone getting punched by Deborah Voorhees for claiming that kind of bullshit. I got her to beat Joe's ass back in the day.
Deborah Voorhees. Deborah Voorhees. Debbie Sue. Yes.
Great Deborah Voorhees.
Bow our heads.
And friends.
All hail.
All hail.
Unbelievable. What do you guys want to jump in on? We could do the comedians. We could just what else we had on here? Oh, we could do a Terrifier, because we did Terrifier 2 review last week, but we figured why don't we do Terrifier 1? I mean, everybody's seen it.
Let me do a whiz real quick. I'm right back with you, but that's a good idea.
Do a whiz, boy.
Just a whiz.
Yeah, I did watch Terrifier 2 again this week. I'm just loving that movie.
Okay, he left. How did he do this weekend?
Was he upright all weekend?
Yeah, he stood upright. He might have had to have a helping hand every once in a while, but he did pretty good. No, he was
so he's
right.
mostly vertical. Okay, we got
mostly vertical.
Mostly vertical.
No, it was good. It was a good weekend, man. we've been pounding the brews and stuff like that, but I haven't seen him in a couple of years, so it was just like it was his wedding, but it's also the first time that we got to see each other in probably, I think it's been like 3.5 years, 4 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, that made it extra special then.
Yeah, for sure.
Damn, you're like the fastest pisser on the planet. Is the porcelain cracked?
There's a bathroom right there.
No, he just has a really small penis, so it has less distance to travel.
How much could that possibly cut out of the time, sir?
I don't know. It sounded good.
It sounded great. The only problem is when you're sitting to take a shit and it's not long enough to dip into the toilet, so you kind of just have to. It starts shooting out straight up and shit.
Like when it gets to the crack in between
Look what I've started.
The bowl and get the back of your leg.
Oh shit!
That's right.
Because you forgot to tuck.
Whoa.
You didn't tuck it in. Yep, you got to do the tuck.
Terrifier.
Oh, that. Speaking of tucking, that was funny as shit. Because after they did their after Mike and April did their the first dance for their song or whatever, Mike wanted to do a daddy-daughter dance, and they were like, "Well, what song should we dance to?" Mike's 14-year-old daughter, "Let's dance to Goodbye Horses."
From Silence of the
Silence
Lambs.
of the Lambs.
So they went out and danced to Goodbye Horses for their daddy-daughter dance.
She danced amazingly too. I was like sitting there going, I don't remember a damn bit of this, but I was watching the video going, we can dance pretty damn good, me and her.
It was great. That was funny.
Oh, it was a blast. I can't wait to show you guys the videos and stuff. We'll have to upload it and show everybody next weekend or something.
Cool. Definitely. Cool. Who wants to go? Who wants to do their review of the Terrifier?
I'll do it.
Do it.
So
you jump in the water first.
I'll jump in. Okay, so before Terrifier 2 came out, because I don't want this to be about a comparison, but I thought it had like the gnarliest scene in any movie ever was when that blonde was tipped upside down, butt naked, and he just starts sawing her from the vag to the head and just fucking cuts her ass right in half. And it looked pretty good. Like, it wasn't cheesy like some 80s B-rate horror movie where you see like the face looks all fake all of a sudden or anything like that. It looked good. And I mean, it's hard to not. That's got to be the first thing that pops into my head whenever I think of the original Terrifier movie.
Everybody, that's the first image. My daughter, that's she said that's when her and her friends turned it off. They're like, "All right, we're out."
Believe it or not, when I walked downstairs from playing guitar and they were watching TV, my 14-year-old daughter is the one that watched it first and showed me about it. And that was the scene it was on when I walked downstairs. I'm like, wait, what in the fuck is going on here, right?
What are you guys watching?
And then like later that night, I had to start it over and watch it from the beginning because I'm like, oh, that's respect. just fucking respect for that. And then as far as the flow of the movie, I mean, I if I have any complaints at all, it's that the chick with the face blown off looks a little bit B-rate horror goofy, a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? But then that kind of cool twist that it wasn't the main character, it was the sister that fucking got her face blown off and all this other shit because you couldn't recognize it. I thought that was the coolest shit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a little strange about her attacking the talk show host. I thought that was a little bit goofy. But as far as like watchability goes, that movie is solid. Like it's one of those that fly by, and it's a pretty long movie, isn't it? That one's like 2+ hours, isn't it?
I think it's like an hour. I think it's under 2 hours.
Yeah, it's just under 2 hours. Yeah, but it goes by fast.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I'm saying. Like the
entertaining.
original Halloween movie, you watch that and it takes 11.5 minutes and it's fucking over.
It's over.
Yeah.
That movie is over in no time. But the Terrifier is longer than that one, I think, for sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's got to be like an hour 45, hour 50 minutes.
Yeah, Dave's right. The chicks are hot. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then it had some elements of Texas Chainsaw Massacre when he cuts that chick's titties off and starts dancing like a fool.
Yeah, the old lady, right?
And then, oh man, I mean, I have more positive than negative to say about it. I will have to confess, this is one of those rare moments where I do honestly think that the sequel was better than the original on that one.
Yes.
10-4 there, absolutely.
Mhm.
Like have you seen Terrifier 2?
I have not.
Have you seen Terrifier 1?
I have not.
Oh, well then there you go.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Oh, you're lucky.
You have homework.
I do have homework.
Trust me.
So
Set aside 5 hours. It's worth it.
So when it comes to stuff like this, I'm more of a passive fan than an active fan like you guys are. Most of my knowledge and most of my watching all this stuff has just been hanging out with this guy for the last 25 years. Like I enjoy it every once in a while. I more prefer the killers with I like Freddy and Chucky who are funny and witty and stuff like that. My big thing is I've been a paramedic for the last 17 years. So when I see a kill scene or all the special effects and makeup or whatever, I'm just like, that's not what it does to a human body. That's not what it would look like. And I'm like, I can't watch medical shows, and it's hard to watch like stuff like that because I'm like, that's not what it looks like when it happens to a real human body.
Let me ask you this. Okay, so that's interesting. So I not that it semi-changed gears, but not really. In the Terrifier 2, April was complaining because she's like, oh, that would not happen. But if you cut somebody's head right here with some scissors and pulled their skin or whatever, and pulled their skin back and exposed their skull, how long
like medical scissors
would live after that?
How long? Well, if it's a clean incision, then they have any kind of bleeding control, that it would be fine. Like they did in what was that?
Hannibal.
What's the Hannibal sequel?
Hannibal.
Yeah, Ray Liotta. Right.
Exactly,
Ray
right?
Liotta.
Yeah, you could live like that.
That's what I told her because she's sitting there going, "Oh no, she'd be dead." I'm like,
no,
from what?
no.
Okay,
The only way
cool.
you'd be dead. The only way you'd be dead is if you actually went deep enough to hit the arteries and they bled out. But if you just did superficial, just enough to get to the scalp.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I had to sidetrack while I was thinking about that. But so in this formula of ours, if I rank the Terrifier movie, the original Terrifier, I would give a 7.5.
Nice.
Definitely above average. Definitely, because you got to respect the fact that it's all been done before, quote unquote. Every time you go to make a movie or you see something, nothing's original anymore. And then you're like, okay, my bad. I'll never say that again because he just sawed this bitch in half upside down. And I was never fucking expecting that. So 7.5.
Very good.
I would say, Jason, he's got a sense of humor, though. It's worth watching. He's the lead up to with his sense of humor. He's got a sense of humor.
Oh no, I'll definitely. Now we're talking about it. I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah,
We might have
he
to watch
don't
it tonight.
speak.
We might-
He's
yeah, we
kind
might
of like
watch
a
it.
mime.
We gotta stay up till like 3:00 in the morning. My flight leaves early as shit in the morning, so we'll probably watch both of them tonight. Fuck
Might
it.
as well.
Might as well. Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah, like the scene when he's sawing her in half with the hacksaw and he's just laughing. He's like, he's just fucking laughing his balls off while he's sawing her in half.
Yeah, he's got her
Okay, that's
upside
fine.
down. He rips her panties off and just throws them. I don't care.
Yeah, All Hallows Eve is where he first appeared. Yep, that's
Yes.
actually where he appeared. And actually, that's not the original. That's
It's not the
David Howard
original
Thornton.
actor. No.
So, yeah, it's a different guy playing Art the Clown.
It's an anthology film, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it's an anthology. It's good. It's worth watching. It's like all this is. It's like a creep show anthology type thing, and it's a little skit, and that's where Art the Clown first appears.
Well, but it's not like Creep Show at all, because in this scenario, the second's better than the first, right, Brett?
Yeah.
Unlike Creep
Hey,
Show, which would be
Friday
crazy
the
to say.
13th. And Friday the 13th too is better than 1. Let's get there.
Oh,
Oh,
we're gonna
absolutely.
get into that.
Oh, we're gonna get into that. That we can do that
Absolutely.
next. Big time. You want to go, Brady?
Yeah, I think a lot what Michael was saying. If the second one is just they had a big challenge and they were up for it and they exceeded expectations. You're waiting to see what's going to happen with them. You know, when he first meets the girls in the pizza shop. I shouldn't say too much about it, Jason. I'm sorry, but when you meet the girls in the pizza shop, and then you know what he throws shit all over the walls.
Yeah.
He's got to clean it up.
The guy's all pissed off. He's got to clean up, but then he really fucks that pizza guy up too. After
Oh, he
that.
messes that guy up. The kills are anything with the face is really drawn out. Like he's gouging eyes out, ripping everything out. It's
Yeah, there's no holes barred. When you think it's over, it's not
not.
over. It's not over by a long shot. I mean, even in part 2, which we won't spoil for you, when the girl that he scalps, you think he's gonna leave her there laying dead after he just seriously fucked her up. And what does he do? He comes back and starts doing other things, which I won't tell you because I don't want to spoil it. And you're just like, dude, what the fuck?
Well, right. Like you think the final girl in this was going to be the final girl, the brunette. Like
Right.
at least that was kind of an easy way to go in a way. So it was simple. So, but I would give it a 7. I'm a solid 7. I love the second one. I think I gave the second one 8.5.
Yeah.
I'm a guy. I like the girl in the second one a lot more too. So
Yeah.
I don't know, Michael, if you saw pictures of her at Monster Mania. Well, you probably have time social media, but at Monster Mania, she looked awesome.
She looked amazing.
Gore and hot titties. Is that what I'm looking forward to?
Gore and hot titties, yes.
I'm down.
Yeah. Yeah. All the recipes of a healthy meal.
Absolutely. A well-balanced diet, throwing a little bit of beer for some hydration, and you're good to go.
Yeah,
That's
I'd
it.
like to go back and watch the first one. I watched it a few years ago, and now after watching the second one, I would have to go back and watch it again. But the second one was just, it
Was great.
It doesn't hold a candle. to
Like I
the-
said, I watched it again this week. I was sitting down the other night and there's nothing on, and I'm like, I still had the screen box because the trial didn't run out yet, and I'm like, let me watch it at least one more time, and I watched it again, and it's just two and a half hours later. You won't fall asleep during it because there's always something going on.
and he builds tension. The character builds tension. He don't talk. It doesn't. It moves slow in spots with him until he's in full form. So, yes, 7 out of 10.
7, very, very good. So for me, I had no idea even about this movie. I just saw it. It was on, I think it was on Shudder the first time I saw it. Shudder or Netflix.
Or Netflix. I think Netflix had it too.
And I had already seen All Hallows Eve, so I'm like, I sort of thought it was the clown from that, and I'm like, well, it turned out to be that clown. And same thing, like you watch it, you had no idea, you were waiting to see what was under that sheet, and then when he pulls the sheet and you see the girl upside down, you're like, dude, what the hell is going to happen here? And it's brutal, and the practical effects are actually pretty cool. I mean, they're cheesy, but they're cheesy fun. It's even in part 2, like well, I don't want to say too many because I don't want to spoil it for Jason, but the practical effects are fun. They're not like professional. They're like grindhouse. They're like more in line with a true 70s, actually 80s slasher type of vibe. And that's what he was pretty much going for. So you'll definitely like it. But I thought it was a lot of fun. The part where he smears shit everywhere, classic. You had no idea what he was doing in there too. And then you go in there and he smears shit all over the place.
Like actual shit, like feces shit, or is it
Feces shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Feces shit. And it's in a pizza shop.
No, that's what I was saying. You said it was in a pizza shop. So I was like, is he just taking shit off the counters and throwing it, or is he is it
No,
actual
You
shit?
don't see what it is. You assume it's
until you assume you don't even know what's going on until the pizza guy goes in there and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then
So
that,
far,
it was,
you know,
and he regretted that. He regretted that after the fact. But it was great. Both girls were cute as hell, as Dave said. You know, kudos. The blonde girl was beautiful, and the other girl, the brunette girl, was real pretty too. And I was wondering, like, the same thing. You thought that one brunette girl was going to be a final girl, and I'll try not to spoil it too much. I'm trying to. How can I go about this? Let me take a drink because the crown apple is helping. 1 second.
Oh.
Without spoiling it too much for Jason.
Yeah.
But it's great. It's a lot of fun. The only person I didn't understand that was a little odd to me was the creepy lady with the fake doll. I didn't understand.
Yeah, that was annoying, right?
What that
lady?
was all. Yeah, I didn't understand why she was there, what that was all about. I mean, I understood why he was there because he was just hiding out there, and the guy that was there, like, you know, clean. He was an exterminator or something, wasn't he? Exterminator,
janitor or something.
janitor or
janitor,
exterminator. Yeah, and he was. So you understood all that stuff, and then the ending, you thought it was final. So that's why it was odd when I thought they were coming back with Terrifier 2. But try not to spoil it for Jason because I want you guys to go watch it. I want to enjoy it. One thing I do enjoy is rare, especially in this day and age, to see somebody create something that's going to become a horror icon. And Art the Clown is easily a horror icon now.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a long time. I can't.
Deal.
Who's the last one? Who's the last great horror icon?
Saw the Jigsaw.
Jigsaw probably, and that's been around for years now. So it's got to be 20 years.
Yeah, but that's been like the last one that's come out, even with sequels. That's been anything, any kind of remotely without rehashing, like, you know, old Halloween, you know, the new Halloween movies or anything like that. Just the like a true original character that came out. I think Jigsaw was probably the last one.
I like
gotta be
Victor
it.
Crowley. I would take Victor Crowley too. Those movies.
Victor
are fun.
Crowley wasn't bad, yeah. So I would have to say it's launched this whole franchise, and it's good because it got better. Like, we all loved the first one, and the second one is even better. So I'm hoping that the studios don't meddle and kind of fuck it up like they usually do. It's like you just want to say, look, this was a success. Just let him do his fucking thing. Don't stick your nose in it, and it'll be good. Because that's why this was as great as it was, because it was him. He had a vision, and they let him and he just did what he was supposed to do. And that's usually how it happens. Same thing with Halloween. John Carpenter did exactly what he wanted to do. Nobody fucking meddled.
The dollars talk. Once you start putting those zeros there, though.
But I think in Damien Leone's case, if he holds out, even if he is offered a ridiculous amount of money, I think if he holds out, he has a potential to be known as being that guy that sticks true to form and doesn't sell out to corporate America. And he could end up ironically making a big fucking coin if he doesn't ever do that and sell out, and just we'll lose him, I think, at that
That's
point.
what I'm hoping. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm hoping if they start to meddle, because they're all going to be knocking at his door because they're seeing dollar signs. But in the end, I'd be right there with Brad. I'd give it a 7. Is it the best movie I ever saw? No, but do I really like it? Yeah. Definitely like part 2 better. Yeah. I think part 2 I gave an 8.5. But definitely a fun watch. I mean, it's one of those movies, like, you know what? There's those movies, like, if you sit down, you flicking through the channels, there's nothing on, and that's on. What do? You stop and watch that because you know it's going to be fun.
Very iconic, though. You're right about that. Dave, I like that. That's an 8. I was almost an 8. 7.5.
He's splitting the difference.
I didn't realize it was Gabriel that talked about Hallow's Eve. Hello, Gabriel.
Yeah, he's splitting the difference. 8.5.
Yeah, GK's checking in. Yeah, and that's respectable as hell. You know, it's great movie. So far the only official Art the Clown thing is that Terrifier figure, right?
Yeah, that I know of.
Trick or Treat Studios, yeah.
The Tots one. So I think that's it so far. I mean, you know what? Aside from, I'm sure we all go to convention, like Brett and I were commenting on, there's going to be a ton of Art the Clown shit, and I'm sure none of it has Damien Leone's stamp on it.
I will have a few cases delivered of the Terrifier 6-scale figures on Thursday. Gabriel, anybody interested?
There's 2 different versions of that one too, right?
There is, but one of them was exclusive to Trick or Treat, so they sell as well. They're not just retail, or they're not just wholesalers. So they
Gotcha.
sell their own merchandise on their website, obviously,
Right.
as well. And they make more money, obviously, if they sell the figure for $200 instead of selling it to me for $100 each. So the Slasher Murder Edition, I believe, is exclusive to Trick or Treat only.
What's the difference? Is it like bloody or something?
Yeah, it's bloody. I haven't been able. Oh yeah, Dave says the mask. There's a Terrifier mask.
Oh, is that? Oh,
But,
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and all the order forms and everything like that, the murder edition's never even been an option. Yeah, the bloody figure, that's the murder edition.
The murder edition.
Very cool, gentlemen. So we have a daunting task ahead of us of ranking Friday the 13th.
I'm looking forward to that. Always have.
So-
been.
Nice.
So there's going to, and usually I have a little, I didn't do anything because like I said, this was the last minute thing where we just kind of shifted gears. So we can go right ahead and do our ranking. Everybody feel free to jump in and give your thoughts. This should be very interesting. I mean, I kind of know.
which direction, 10 to 1 or 1 to 10.
We're
We're
gonna
gonna
Start
go
the worst and go down.
worst.
We'll do worst
Worst
to
to
best. Yeah, worst to best. I mean, we did it the other way around with Halloween because we kind of all knew we were going to put Halloween first. So we were curious where it went from there.
Well,
So
I'm wondering. I'm wondering how similar our lists are gonna be. That's what I'm looking forward
That's
to.
what I'm
I can't
wondering,
wait for
yeah.
this.
I'm wondering where I put part 5 where I'm going to hear about it.
It has to be top 3. I mean, minimum, bare fucking minimum. But we'll get into that. I can't wait.
I don't know.
I would like to go first. I'm just typing to get a banner up here.
Oh, I thought you had a little intro to this one. All right.
No, notice I had no time because when Dustin reached out to me, I said I had 0 time to do anything. So this was
Huge.
all off the cuff, huge. This is off the cuff, huge.
So this one is a big deal to me because like Halloween is my favorite movie of all time. But I have always said this. I honestly think pound for pound, especially now since Halloween Ends came out, that I don't think there's any debate in my head. Friday the 13th as a whole is a better franchise. I think they're more entertaining. I'd rather be on a desert island with all the Friday the 13th than all the Halloweens, especially if Halloween 1 was not a part of the mix. You know what I mean? So I will gladly go first.
I think Jason.
I can't wait to do a watch along with those.
Well,
That's
Michael
gonna
Bass,
that'll
so.
be fun.
Exactly.
So this is uber rare, especially one with like, what is it, 12, 13 sequels, something like that.
12.
Yeah, 12. But the worst one is the first one.
Ah,
I
wow.
and there's some bad ones, and we'll get into them. But when I'm even thinking about the dumb ones, I'm sitting there going, I'd still rather watch that than the first one. Like the first one's just a fucking stupid snooze fest to me.
Yeah, it's complete cliche 80s slasher horror to the fullest extreme. They try to throw the twist ending in there with Mrs. Voorhees being the killer and everything else. I don't know if that was their plan to launch a franchise, depending if it was like their original, like if that's what they were thinking, like we're gonna switch around, or if it was just because it was successful. But no, I'm okay with that.
Well, you know, it's because
The
the first
one is the worst one.
First
The first
is
one
the
was-
worst one.
the reason is because they were, you know, they're clearly trying to copy Halloween. So they kind
Yeah.
of used that formula, but they didn't have the Carpenter formula down.
yeah.
But they didn't
Jason's
do it
mom
right.
was
They didn't
Corey,
do
you
it
know what
right
I
though,
mean?
because they didn't have that. You didn't get glimpses of the boogeyman. You didn't get
Right.
you didn't get that sense of dread. You didn't get that sense of ire, and everything else. It was just next thing you know, you see a disembodied weapon stabbing somebody, and that was it. And then at
Yeah.
the very end, it's a fucking disgruntled old lady.
It just
Yeah.
was the guy
Any
in
one
the
of those
rain.
teenagers should have been a kid, be able to break that old lady's hip at any time.
I know.
Well,
Yeah.
You gotta love the guy in the rain though. Oh hi, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
So
What are you doing
dumb.
out in this mess? Ooh.
Oh, finger in the ass. Oh.
Just
Finger
fucking
in the
throw
butt.
her down a flight of stairs, man. Take away her life alert.
Take away our life alert.
Take away your butch haircut and get the hell out of here.
Nice.
What about you, Brady?
You know what? I have to go with Jason Goes to Hell is the worst one for me.
Fair.
I was at that age when
Mhm.
Paramount lost the rights and went to New Line, and it was so many years in between Part 8 and Jason Goes to Hell, and there's parts of Jason Goes to Hell that are fun, but Jason's really kind of like the problems we have with what we've talked about with Ends. We've talked about sometimes people have issues with it with Part 5. Jason's in it at the beginning, and arguably he's only in it at the end. Like the
Yeah.
I
physical
couldn't imagine
actual look
anyone
at
having a problem with part 5 though.
no. Part 5's growing day by day with a lot of people, though, Michael. So including myself. So
OG
But
right here.
yeah, and like it looked like he that was like people talk about George Wilbur being like all fat and shit for Halloween 6. Jason looked all fat and shit, Kane Hodder. I don't know what the hell they put a big stomach on him. He just looked all fucked up looking, So
Oh, and the
hey,
only
but nice
Ameri-
tater tots at the beginning of Jason Goes to Hell, though. Well, remember that tater tots.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was, that girl. Yes, very nice.
So, before I forget, let me show this because I took something out of the vault. I'm going to get it authenticated. I'm sure, Michael, you've seen one of these bad boys before.
I've had a couple of those. That's probably one of the Steve Dash.
And Betsy Palmer. I got it signed.
Betsy
before she had
Palmer.
passed. So, yep.
Man, between Betsy Palmer and I got a Betsy Palmer autograph on an 8x10 when I sent a letter to her when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But to have it on like an item like that would be gangster.
Yep, gonna take it to Beckett. We got our sports show here this weekend, so yep, very excited about that. So
Very nice. That's awesome.
Where are you gonna let Warrington Gillette sign it? You see him?
you know what? I was gonna ask you what you thought of that. If I see him, I think I still would have him sign it. You know what I mean?
To. No
Yeah.
matter what kind of shit he takes, he's still the face.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's obviously he's one of the ones that's still around too. So
Mm.
yeah. Maybe, but you bring up a good point. Maybe I shouldn't get that authenticated until I get him on there. But
I would
Yeah,
get
she
that,
was-
and I would also get what's her name too?
the
Come
girl,
on,
the blonde.
King. Is it what's her name?
I don't see
Oh
her.
man, this is gonna kill me. What's her name? The
Who's the
blonde
female
from
lead in
Bart
the second one?
Oh,
What's her name?
Amy Steele?
Amy
Yeah, she hasn't-
Steele. Thank
she
you.
hasn't aged a bit.
Right.
No, she hasn't. She looks good.
Yeah. No, I would totally do that.
So
Oh,
okay, but anyways, yeah, the worst one was Jason Goes to Hell for me.
And I don't have much more to say about it, but that's what I had as mine. Jason Goes to Hell. Aside from the boobs in the beginning, the rest of it to me is kind of a snooze fest.
And actually, looking at my list, we might as well segue into this together. My number 2 worst movie, Jason Goes to
Jason
Hell.
Goes to Hell.
You know,
I couldn't get over the whole slug going in your mouth shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then he's in there for like 10 seconds. It was almost like they were trying, like we said before, they were trying to copy the Halloween's formula. And this one, it looks like they were trying to like almost copy Jaws's formula, like not have the monster seen until the last 5 minutes of the movie.
remember, like Jason becomes like an insect that goes up the waitress's skirt.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
And then they got the Only in America Rocky 5 motherfucker playing a doctor that just goes all full idiot.
Oh, Richard
Like, he's
Gant,
a
yeah.
heart just
Yeah.
beating, it just decides he's got. Ooh,
George
let's
Washington
just
Duke
come out.
here.
are you talking about the fucking Rocky 5 promoter?
Yeah,
George Washington
Only
Duke.
in America.
I forgot that was him.
Yeah.
You know what though? The one part I do love about Jason Goes to Hell is with the annoying lady at the cafe when Jason elbows her mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all funny. Yeah, that was funny, but that was really funny. But
That's
yeah,
it. Anyways.
I don't know. Jason Goes to Hell was ass. I agree with
Ass.
that 100%.
And Michael, we could go in reverse. Part 1 is my second atrocious.
Bravo,
So
sir.
we're not so far off so far.
No, not
Yeah.
so far off at all. No Jason in it. No go for me.
What do I have here? My next one would be
Oh yeah, quicker.
I'm off the formula with you guys because this one I didn't care for. I mean, aside from the
What
nudity,
the fuck?
Jason X.
And I was segued, and we'll talk about it together. My next one, Jason X.
Jason X. Next.
So the only thing I will say about Jason X though is it did have my absolute. I know it wasn't a technical real kill because it was the hologram, but my favorite kill scene in any Jason movie is when he took the two chicks in the sleeping bag and just bashed them in the tree together.
How about the cryo stuff where he shatters the girl though?
When she shatters the girl's face, the cryogenic shit.
That's Well, that one was good, but my favorite one is the sleeping bag with the tree with the two chicks with the holograms that they tried to lure him with. That was my favorite kill scene ever.
You know,
and there was a lot of nudity, so it was okay.
Well, that too.
Jason X, unfortunately, was a product of getting leaked on the internet when stuff started getting leaked on the internet too. It was a bummer because I was one of the people that watched it on the internet, and yeah, it's a bummer, man. And the director, unfortunately, has passed away. Jim Isaac, I think is his name. And David Cronenberg's in it at the beginning, right? He's the one doctor.
Isn't he the guy
Yes,
in
he was the
Pretty
doctor
Much
in the
Jason that plays the security guard?
Jim Isaac?
The director from Jason X, and he's the security guard that holds the gun in Freddy vs. Jason, isn't he?
Oh, he is? Oh, you know what? I don't know. I can look that up.
You might want to fact check me, but I'm pretty sure I heard that one.
No, I have to go back and look at that one. I didn't know that.
Okay.
So was it clean sweep with Jason X?
I think
Yes,
so.
indeed.
Well, hold on, because that was your number 9, Pat, and that was Mike's number 8. So we got to go to Brett's number 8.
There you go.
Oh, okay. That's right. Okay. Well, then the next one I got is Jason Takes Manhattan. As much as I do like it a lot, there's some moments in it. But...
My next one is Jason Takes Manhattan.
Dad, are you right there?
Clean sweep.
I can't.
Wow.
I can't go with you on this one. I like Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh, it's a great
I do
movie.
too.
So
I do too. It's a fun watch.
What I really like about Jason Takes Manhattan is one scene in particular that shows Jason's not just a mindless raging whatever. He actually has like a method to his madness. When he fucking walks by and he kicks the kid's boombox and they're like starting shit and he just turns around and he's like, "Do you really want a piece of this?" And he lifts his mask up and he scares them all away. And then he turns around and continues on what his mission is. You know what I mean? So he's not just like a mindless kill everybody who is around him. He's got specific people he wants to kill.
Yep.
And there's some
He
good
looked cool
detail.
too. He looked simple. He just looked like, swampy and
the thing about it is well, I don't know. Yeah.
You know what I just realized?
I liked it though.
Like the most iconic Jason, and this is weird to note, but like the best Jason of all of them would have to be Kane Hodder. And if you think of the movies he was in, it's all the worst ones. Isn't that weird? He's just in more of them, but every one he was in is the dumbest one.
Pretty much. Yep. This is true.
Except Part 7. Part 7 is a good
yeah.
All right.
But that's weird to think.
Is it back to me already?
No, it's no, because we have
that
a
was a clean
so
sweep for number 8?
Number 8.
The fourth worst one was
So
Part
10,
8.
9, 8, 7. So that was 7. That was number 7.
Oh no, that you can't look at that number.
No, I'm not. That's not. I'm looking at. It was
I've only
10,
seen
9,
4
8,
films
7.
so far.
There's more than 10 movies though. Ding dong.
Or we'll find 12, 11, 10, 9.
Yeah.
You count
we just
Freddy
did
vs.
it.
Jason, there's 12.
Yeah, there's 12.
Yeah, so we're at So
12,
So go ahead.
11, 10, 9. That was number 9. So now we're on to number 8.
Number 8 it is. Yep.
What do you got, Michael?
So the next one from Jason Takes Manhattan is Part 2. And it's not that there's anything wrong with Part 2. It's just now we're getting into the ones I really, really, really like.
Yep.
And Part 2 is the lowest one on the list of ones I really, really like. But I've had a chance to talk a lot with Warrington Gillette, and I got a chance a couple times to meet Steve Dash before he passed away. And I think the Sackhead is pretty cool considering Jason's a hockey mask, but yet the Sackhead doesn't get dismissed like for lack of a better word, like a Halloween 3 scenario where it just feels like so far-fetched or something from the formula. But it's iconic. I always loved it as a kid. I think about that kid skipping through the mud puddles, singing that Itsy Bitsy Spider song. I mean, It was huge. I remember all about that shit. And they kill Adrian King right in the beginning, what you were not fucking expecting at all. And the dude in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
That's like the most iconic death.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this guy. We ain't gonna be PC. Jason don't give a damn shit. He's in a wheelchair. He just chop his stupid face and send him down a flight of stairs like you should.
And the head in the fridge at the beginning is something too, right? It's like, oh.
Yeah.
But part 2, and it's not because it's bad. This is the beginning of the not bad ones.
This is just getting nitpicky on what you like more.
This is getting nitpicky. Yeah.
This is like the worst of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Michael, you said it right. This is right where you kind of like, ugh, because I do like them all to an extent. It's just like Halloween. I have as my next one. I have the remake, and I really enjoy the remake a lot. And Derek Mears is a good Jason, and they do a big tribute to the Sackhead Jason for a little bit in there too. I don't know what else to say. Derek Mears is a great Jason. I don't know what else to say. Sorry, I'm kind of.
I know it's hard. It's hard. It's like, yeah, because we liked them. You don't want to talk too bad.
Yeah, because it feels like you need to talk shit about it, but there's nothing to. Yeah, it's not easy to talk shit about it. It's a good
Unfortunately, that's another one I haven't been able to get around to watching yet, so I haven't seen the remake yet.
movie. A lot of movies too.
Yeah,
there's a lot of movies.
You know, it had a lot of hate at first, and I think now it's kind of gone away a little bit. The hate.
Yeah.
So it's still worth seeing. There's a lot to it. So check it out.
It has arguably, I mean, I'm always going to be a Deborah Voorhees fan for life, but let's call it the second best set of tits in the fucking franchise.
They're spectacular.
Oh man, this set, dude. Oh, I'm telling you.
Well, that's always, no matter what, makes a movie worth watching. I don't care how bad the movie is.
You see some good suspense when the girl's swimming and she sees Jason out during daylight and just watching. That's a real cool segment. Yeah, there's some good scenes to it. So
it's good. It's definitely good. For me, next would be Freddy versus Jason.
Interesting.
You know why? The reason behind it is because I felt more like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and Jason was kind of a bitch through the whole movie.
Yeah,
it's like his
he's 9
bitch.
foot tall now.
I don't know if I don't know if I would say bitch. I would probably say more a pawn.
Well, that's it. That's pawn. He was making him his pawn, his bitch. It was just like, it didn't paint him in a good light. So since we can very easily, when we rank the Nightmare on Elm Streets, we can do this and this might be higher because it was more of a Freddy movie as far as I'm concerned.
I agree with that statement because it was more about Freddy coming back into the dreams and getting his fear back or whatever, and he was using Jason as his pawn. I get that, but that final fight scene too, that was like, Jason fucked him up quite a bit. He got
his shots in there. I mean, he pretty much did because
the end. But they made him an oaf.
It was just ahead at the end.
Yeah.
They make him an oaf when he comes back and they're finally in the same room and Freddy looks over like, oh shit. He looks all
What I don't like is how they just basically use the simplest little fears to debilitate both of them. Freddy being afraid of fire, Jason being afraid of water, and it turned Jason into a sniveling little fucking child again. I was like, he spent how many years chained underwater into the fucking grave before he got,
and now he's afraid he's a bitch. Yeah,
a little fucking drizzle from the ceiling ain't gonna reduce Jason Voorhees to a fucking sniveling child.
But he was in his dream.
It doesn't matter.
That's a little homage to Jason Takes Manhattan, I guess.
Yeah, right.
I thought it had some cool fight scenes, and I thought the director did a good job making it modern as hell. It didn't feel classic. It felt like a very modern movie at the time.
Yeah.
But I also said my next was Freddy vs. Jason.
There you go.
Yep, that's a clean sweep here. Freddy versus Jason. No offense to Ken Kersinger, I would have loved to have seen Kane Hodder do it since Kane Hodder played it for such a number of movies in a row, and obviously he got to know Robert Englund maybe from conventions or just being opposing. I think it would have been a lot of fun to at least see Kane Hodder in that role. Unfortunately, didn't happen.
Definitely.
For me, what do I got here next? For me, The New Blood.
That's fucking wild. Me too. Let's just talk about it.
Part 7. Yep.
You're kidding me.
Clean sweep. See, that's why
Even
we're all
though
men,
Bernie's in it, Terry Kaiser. I love Weekend at Bernie's, man. He's in there
He's in there.
without the
He's in there.
mustache.
Now it's one of those where I feel like we're supposed to be saying bad things, but it's just these are the good ones to me.
Yeah.
One of my favorite
And-
scenes is when she's using her mind and she's just kicking his fucking ass. Remember, and his mask is off, and he's like getting all pissed. He's like,
Yeah.
I just laugh my fucking ass off because you can see he's like he's getting pissed. Like this fucking bitch keeps fucking with me. He's like,
Dude,
And
it's-
it's so iconic. Like it's the cover of the Nintendo game is Friday the 13th Part 7, and it's just the most iconic look.
It's one of the
And
most
if-
iconic fucking movie posters.
if there's a movie
Yeah.
that
The
like
whole franchise.
if anybody's gonna ask like they've never seen the movies, right? And it'd be like, "Want to see a movie where Jason gets his ass kicked?" That's the first one you really got.
that's the first one. You get, yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
roof, they throw the roof down on him. He gets lit on fire, which Kane Hodder had some real nasty
Burns
issues with
from,
that when
yeah.
that happened. Yeah.
And I definitely had a crush on Lar Park Lincoln when I was a kid. And then it got even worse into my adulthood because I had a
Started
chance
stalking
to
her?
meet her and talk to her quite a bit. And it seemed like something that I could have actually taken care of at some point in my adulthood. Like, and so like she's near and dear to my heart, trust me. And we've talked about her on the podcast plenty of times with
Yeah.
with you know, her and April meeting and giving each other dirty looks and all the fun stuff.
What did you guys think? I think the downward part of it is the ending. I think that's a little goofy with the dad popping out. That's just me. But
Yeah,
Very, very.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have come up with a better ending than that because that didn't make any sense. It's like seriously, this guy's been come on.
he looks pretty damn good being underwater all that time.
Yeah, he looked damn fine to me. He wasn't bloated. He looked like he just came off
Is there a
come out of
secret
makeup.
passage down there somewhere?
He's
Yeah,
living
that
under
part.
the sea like a fucking Little Mermaid character or some shit, just waiting for the times.
Deep down to die.
My next one would be
We're in top 5 now.
no, we're we should have 7 left according to what
I
I
have
Seven
five
left.
left. I have 5 left.
I have 5 left.
Well, which ones? I'm crossing them out as we're going along.
What did you do, son of a bitch?
Well, no. Well, let's see where we go from here because I'm going in my order, which is I know you guys had it at your last. I have a little bit of nostalgia because I saw it in the theater and everything, but the original one, I put it like in the middle. It's not the best, it's not the worst, but for me, like I said, you tend to get nostalgic over things, and I guess I'm a little bit older and I saw it in the theater, so
It does have Crazy Ralph.
you're all doomed. Yes, everybody,
And Kevin
needs a
Bacon.
crazy- and Kevin Bacon. Yep. So that's where I'm at with the original, sort of in the middle.
The bacon.
The
So
Bacon
my next is part 3.
Trace.
And it's iconic. It's the beginning of the really good ones. It's like the first real good one. And he gets the hockey mask in that movie. And the fucking soundtrack is like the best, with the exception of Fastway, Trick or Treat is like the best fucking soundtrack on the planet. With the Harry Manfredini's fucking bow, 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 bow. It's like the best soundtrack. The 3D element, which I can never get the 3D glasses to work. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, it's
No.
cheesy when it does work.
You take
Yeah.
them off because you're like, I feel
Yeah.
stupid and it's not working. And
Everybody
they
looks
have
red and
all these
green.
easy moments where they're holding like the bat by the screen and stuff, and you're sitting there going, it's taken away from the movie slightly.
And the guy's
But,
holding the eye. The crazy Ralph ripoff guy's holding the eye. He gave me this, and he's holding the eye. The eyeball.
It's stupid.
I would put 3 or higher just for the simple fact of is that's where he got his hockey mask, and that's
Mask.
like
Which
that's
is
the most
iconic.
iconic. That's the most iconic like scene in the entire franchise is him putting on the mask.
But I gotta say, number 5, and like I said, we're still in the good one, so it's nothing bad against it. I love the movie, but part 3 just comes below the next ones.
Let me start drinking here before I hear about it.
Oh, here comes part 5.
Oh, he's gonna go do something that we don't want to hear.
Well, a lot has to do with when I first met Michael Strickland in person at Flashback Weekend when they had the Part 5 people there. So I am going to pick Part 5, but I met the people from the film. There, a handful of them were there, as Michael will tell you. And they were the greatest. They were the nicest people all can be.
Oh,
and
yeah.
listen to them talk about film in the movie. I probably watched it at least 4 times since then. And it was
So you're
probably,
saying if we would have done this list before that day, this probably
it would probably
came
be
way
one
lower.
of the bottom ones. Yeah, no doubt about it. I fell in love with the mask too. I love the blue in the mask.
The blue
We've
was
talked
good.
about it many times. But there's nothing wrong with the copycat killer. It was a nice little change up for it. And the characters are great. You got the damn enchiladas guy, you know, from Return of the Living Dead. I forgot the actor's
Damn
name.
enchiladas.
I
So
really love the
The
blonde.
reason
There's
why I
nothing
like
different
5,
there.
the reason why I like 5 so much is because he's a paramedic who lost his mind and went on a killing spree. And trust me, there's not a paramedic out there that can't relate to that. So,
That's true.
trust me, we've all had that thought.
I just like the guy with Lana, and he's doing the cocaine.
He's doing the coke.
Oh, the other one, the in Part 5, I think it was Part 5, was the good one. Was that the one where he put the dude against a tree and put like a belt around his eyes and squeezed it like a tourniquet and made his fucking head explode?
It was the best tatas in that scene right there. The whole
Yes.
time, right? We've
That
all
was-
agreed with
yes.
that before.
Oh, my favorite. Yep.
I just like the one guy hitting Tommy in the chest like this, and then he goes nuts. Remember that?
Yeah,
Like,
they
you
just
kick
throw
your
them.
bit?
Is that Mama's baked beans one?
And
Yeah, the stew.
Would you shut the fuck up? That lady.
would
is
you
so
just
funny.
shut the fuck up?
Mama makes best beans
Just
ever.
good stew. And I love the Clint Eastwood, like the cosplay guy coming to the door. Remember that guy?
Yeah. Here, can I earn a meal? You can
Shut up,
clean up the shit in the back of the barn.
But
Shut
know,
up,
I
you
think
dildo.
there's also something to tell that goes with like the first Halloween. When you put children at risk, I think it adds suspense big time. And there's another child at risk in this one, so it's Part 5. It's you when you start getting this down to this low, they're all good. So.
Hey, that's not bad at all to be number 5 in the whole
Part
franchise.
5 and number 5 for you, huh? Well, I'm going to break from the formula. My number 5 is Part 6. Jason Lives.
Interesting.
Interesting is right.
Very good movie. You know, I everybody loves Tom Matthews. Love the score. You know,
Alice
who
Cooper.
doesn't love the Alice Cooper score? And it's very, very, like I said, nostalgia is there because I worked in the theater. I was a ticket taker in high school when that movie came out that opening weekend. I remember seeing it with a bunch of friends, so it was cool. Sneaking, didn't really have to sneak beers in because I worked there at the time. But it's just to me, it's a fun movie, top to bottom.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So my number 4 is the remake. I thought I thought it's a great movie. I mean, it's number 4. We're not talking bad about movies at this point, I think.
No, not at all.
You know, they had the titty contest, the perfect nipple placement. And it was one that I got to enjoy opening night in the theater. And I love it. There's not much bad I can say about it, to be honest with you. But the remake.
Very cool.
And to add to that, Michael, Days of the Dead here in Chicago, there's a good portion of the people, including the director Marcus Nispel and handful of the actors this weekend at Days of the Dead here. So,
Oh man, that'd be cool.
anybody that's curious out here in Chicago, they're gonna have a big reunion there in Rosemont. So,
What is it, next week? Days of the Dead?
this upcoming weekend, yeah.
You
You
going?
got
Of
it,
course.
Dave. Because
They-
if they would have continued on their journey with fucking Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X, oh man, it would have been bad.
And you had Michael Bay involved too in the whole thing too. Michael Bay of all people.
That's not
Yeah.
always a good thing.
Right, I know. That's just like, damn. But you know what? Speak of Days of the Dead, you know who's going to be there? Henry Manfredini, the composer. I'm going to have to get him autographed on something.
He's
Oh,
great.
nice.
I sat there and talked with him for about an hour straight. He's great.
I know most signatures he puts musical notes on it, so that'll be pretty cool. So
Just salt, pepper.
where am I at? Oh,
What do you got,
number
Brady?
4 here.
garlic powder,
Part
pink
2.
chili,
I go with part
or
2.
medium rare. I can do it myself.
Number
Okay.
4.
Sackhead
Part
Jason
one?
with the overalls is cool for me. So So the kills are good. I like when they promoted the movie, and even at the beginning with the bonfire, they're talking about Jason. You know, the one counselor.
In a second.
I just like how they built that up. But yeah, part 2.
With
Bryce.
the annoying goofball guy that was from what the hell was that movie he was in? With the girl that dressed as like a guy, just one of the guys. Remember, he was the creep.
Oh yeah, where like she tried to fucking write an article and shit, and then the Johnny from Karate Kid was the fucking bully in that one too.
The douchebag. He always
yeah, and then like at the very end, she fucking pulls her tits out, and she's like, and he's like, "It's okay, everybody.
She has tits.
He has tits.
She has tits." But the creepy like reptile geeky guy in that was the guy from part 2, the comedian kid in part 2, which I'm forgetting his name. He was the drunk at the bar.
Oh yeah.
With all the bottles, he was saving all the bottles. He was in that movie. But we're on number 4, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
My number 4 is part 5.
Not bad. I'm
Beginning.
kind of surprised it's that high up. I know it's very just nostalgic for me, but
I think to me it's a fun watch. It was a decent take on something, and it's got the boobies that I worship in it. So that
honestly, now that if I actually really think about it, I think part 5 when I was a kid was actually the very first Friday the 13th that I've ever even seen.
Oh wow!
I think it came out right at the time where I was old enough to like watch movies when my parents went to bed, and that I wasn't allowed to watch. And I think that was actually the first Jason movie that I ever saw. And then I went and watched the other ones, subsequently. But I think Friday the 13th 5 was the first one I ever watched.
Nice.
Part 5. I really think it's growing over time. It really is. I think that's just my opinion.
It found its audience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it gets better. That's what I'm saying. The more you watch it, the more time goes by, it gets better and better. Some of them get worse. Like I used to be a huge fan of part 8, man.
Me too.
I used to be a huge fan, but then everybody was ripping on it, and I'm sitting there going, what the fuck are they talking about? It's a great movie. So I go back and watch, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of stupid. And I've never, that's the one that I've transitioned the most was part 8. Going from, I thought it was one of the best ones to like one of the dumbest ones, like in no time as I got older. But part
8, just to interrupt, the part 8 to me, the part that was the most ridiculous is because I grew up in the New York area. So I was like, did Jason just take that fucking boat, throw it on his back, and then pick it up out of the lake and get it over to the Hudson River? Because there's no way he was going to get there. I was like, how the fuck did he get there? And then when they were leaving on the boat, and they're like, oh, we're leaving the New York. That's not what it looks like, guys. There's a lot of tall buildings in the background, not mountains.
Now, help me, Patrick. You said you've been there, right? You've gone to where that was in New Jersey, right?
The original.
Where
the original was filmed. Yeah. That's the only one. That's the only one they filmed in that scout camp. Camp Novi Bosco.
Which I'll be visiting at some point.
Yep. So where are you at, Michael? Number 3.
Now we're top 3, huh?
Top today's.
All right. So my number 3, and I wouldn't doubt for a second it's going to be number 1 for one of you at least. But my number 3 is part 4. Very iconic movie cover. Corey Feldman was in it. As a kid, there was Judy Aronson from Weird Science got naked and skinny dipped to the raft. You had the Doublemint twins. You had fucking Crispin Glover doing his stupid ass dance.
Hey Ted, where's the coaster?
Where's the corkscrew?
Coaster, or not coaster.
Why you got to be such a dead fuck?
I fucked that one up. Hey honey, got a sister? Ruff, ruff.
That's funny.
The fucking banana, right? Oh god.
Oh, that I could do without. I could do without. That chick, that fat chick eating that banana.
Dude, the Teddy character's awesome. Why are you such a dead fuck?
Why are you such a dead fuck?
Oh man, that movie was great. And then of course, Ted White did a killer performance. Rest in peace. He just
Rest in
died
peace. Yeah,
recently,
just
as
died.
everyone knows.
Yeah.
But him busting through the door and jerking that guy, like he had the guy nailed up to the door, and then he just walks by and rips him down
Just
to get
rips him
through him
down.
and stuff. That's pretty vulgar. And that was what, like 1984, 85, something like that?
Yeah, remember he has didn't he put Crispin Glover up against the doorway and he just pushes him later? Isn't that
It was somebody, yeah. There was, but it was brutal. And it was the first like ambience Friday the 13th movie that you knew was great, like part 3. Like it just the hockey mask was intact. You got the credits doing its goofy, like how are they going to do the opening credits? Like those were always fun to see how they were going to do. And part 4 is like my number 3.
Cool.
My number 3 is the first one I ever saw, and I don't know if you pay-per-view. I saw it on pay-per-view. It was Viewer's Choice. I don't know if it was called Viewer's Choice, but where you guys were when pay-per-view started in the 80s. But it's part 6, the preview. If you watch the original trailer for part 6, it's the way they promote it. Unfortunately, they show in the trailer like the lightning coming down and
Right.
regenerating them. But yeah, you got Alice Cooper in there. I love the blonde in it. What's her name? Is it Colleen Camp or I forgot the blonde that drives the what was she driving? IROC or Camaro in the movie?
The sheriff's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
The whole
Sheriff's
thing.
daughter. Yeah, and the sheriff's a dumbass, and then you got his deputy. Wherever the red dot goes, you bang.
You bang.
Just, but there's also a ton of kids in that one in Jeopardy, which I feel that it's really tense. I love when they play the paintball. You got the guys the camo and playing the paintball.
The goofy guy, yeah.
Yeah.
The 2 guys get shot by the lady. Wish you would have saw what happened to the lady though, but it's all right. The one guy with the machete,
Uh-huh.
and then you got Tony Goldwyn before he was really big, right?
Mhm.
With the director's wife in that scene, right? I think Michael, isn't that the director's
Yeah,
wife?
the one that tries to give the credit cards in the mud
Yeah.
puddle.
And the American Express just goes floating away.
Mm-hmm.
But C.J.
Jennifer
Graham,
Cook.
great Jason.
That was her name.
Jennifer Cook.
Jennifer.
Sorry, Jennifer Cook. But C.J. Graham, great Jason. Very good Jason. Would have been nice to see him do another one, but it is what it is.
Definitely.
But yeah, number 3, and it's a fun movie. Fun movie.
Oh, it is. I remember, like I said, watched it when it opened up that weekend, and the opening scene. And me and my friends are sitting there. We're like, well, "Is that fucking Horshack from Welcome Back, Kotter?" Because it's Ron Palillo in the beginning helping him dig it up, and that's Horshack from fucking Welcome Back, Kotter.
Now,
What an iconic opening to a movie, though, too.
it,
The lightning bolt, like that, them digging him up, having the mask. I mean, that was iconic as hell. Like,
wouldn't you guys agree? Like, if you're reading all these, we're talking about all these films. I think that one doesn't have a slow spot. It's moving nonstop. The movie. There's no downward slow spots in the movie. I don't know.
even with Tom
thought of it.
Fridley doing as Court doing the explaining to the kids about like the Indian tribes and the
Yeah.
women and this and that. Like, and then I getting to hang out with him and Darcy DeMoss and this and that. And actually, I hung out with Tom at the shop. He played drums and I played guitar. We jammed till like 2:30 in the morning.
That's
And
awesome. That's right.
oh man, that was just like the most like the biggest, coolest time of my life with a celebrity from these movies. And Tom McLaughlin, he's a guitar player in a band, and he's got a band. What is it called? Oh man, dang it.
You talk about the one that you got me my hot sauce from?
He did the song One Way Out. Oh, I feel terrible that I don't remember. I got that song on my playlist on Spotify, but yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to jump ahead or nothing, but that's actually my number 2 is part 6.
Very cool.
The Man Behind the Mask soundtrack song, and then the fucking even Teenage Frankenstein with the RV scene.
Yeah.
And the mask looked great. But the most iconic thing was like the way they brought him back to life. And you get lightning bolts and all this flashy shit, and then you got maggots on his face, and his eyes open and all these things. It was so iconic. And then the music was true to the movie, the little ambience music and stuff while they're going through the woods and oh, it was. I love that movie. So that's my number 2. as well.
Hardhead, right? Isn't that what
And look, the Dead Meat podcast. That was their intro for the longest time. The 2 kids hiding underneath the beds. Remember that?
Yeah.
I think we're dead meat. That was like the intro for their show for the longest time from that movie. But my number 3 would be Part 3. Make it real simple. I love
Very
Part
nice.
3. To me, that's the one that's actually got like the more of the Halloween feel than anything, especially in the beginning. You know,
that music in the credits, right? Isn't that hilarious?
yeah. I love Part 3, and I just love the just casual demeanor of the way that Jason is. You know, he just kills people, just walking around like all like just fucking people up. He's not hulking. He's not. It's to me, it was the most like human like, if that makes sense. You know, he wasn't like supernatural yet, so it was still kind of cool.
The late great Richard Brooker.
Yes. Yep. So that's my number today. And then Michael was going on. He said his number 2 is Part 6.
Yeah, didn't mean to jump ahead, but
And Brady, what about you?
I got
2.
part 3 for my number 2. The debut of the hockey mask is a big part. I know the one part that always sticks out with me is when the female lead is dreaming of Jason, when he's like looking out the window when she's on the boat. He comes running out that door. He's like, he's like a horny bastard or something. I will come to you. But I like the guy at the beginning at the store eating all the food and
Eating all the food, putting the shit back.
Oh, putting it back. Yeah, drinking the orange juice and putting it back. And then you see Jason go through the laundry, hanger. So, oh god. But everything in the barn is cool. I love the setup in the barn. Real cool. But and you got what's the guy that's a lawyer in the movie? Is it Larry Zerner? I think that's his name.
Yeah.
Their name. But yeah, good. I like the cast a lot. I think everybody in that second one's really good. Even the dumbass with wearing the blue where his eyes pop out, in the 3D. Jason squeezes his head.
Oh, the guy who talks like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
How
about the guy with the hand?
If you go back and listen to it, I don't know if you ever thought about that, but close your eyes. That dude, I could have been hanging out with Mary Jo Conrad. Just listen to his voice. He talks like Hulk Hogan.
I like that the female lead too. I think she's cute. She's got a girl next door look to her.
Big time.
Yeah, she's cool. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else to the third one I really enjoy. I like the biker gang. The biker gang guys are pretty cool. That's fun.
But you nailed it. That soundtrack. That's like the best music.
Yes. That personifies the 80s, that music, doesn't it, at the beginning? Oh, man. Yep. So that's it, Pat. Sorry.
For me, my number 2, I mean, we kind of talked about it, but Friday the 13th, Part 4. I mean, it just top to bottom. You got Corey Feldman in there is great. You got freaking Crispin Glover is great. I mean, it's just top to bottom. It's just a fun movie to watch too, on top of everything. It's just very iconic. And I remember too, like going to see it when it first came out, and everybody really thought it was the end because at that time you got to remember there was no there was really no movies that had that many fucking parts at that point, I should say. So when they said a final chapter, we all got together and went to see it because we're like, oh man, this is it. We all got to go. Little did we know.
Right. And then the Tom Savini makeup effects for that. And the iconic masks that they kind of gave to the Corey Feldman character and everything.
Yeah, I like the guy from the Police Academy movies at the beginning from the hospital. They used to him wearing the glasses in the Police Academy movies. So.
Oh, Axel?
Yeah, Axel.
Doctor?
Yeah. Axel.
Jesus Christ. Jesus. Fuck Christ. Shit. Fuck. Mother shit. Fuck.
I was hoping to see that girl. Oh, man.
Wasn't the plan for this one to have Corey Feldman become the next copycat and take over? And
That's what they hinted at with the fifth one too.
With the
Yeah,
fifth
when
one, they hinted at it.
he's staring out at the end of the credits of the fourth one. Yeah.
That was the hint, and then they didn't go anywhere with it. Yep. So that's my number 2. So number 1.
I think we all know me by this point with this one.
Yeah, I know what that is. Yep.
Number 1 is Part 5.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fuck out of that movie. It's great. It's got Tom Morga playing Jason and some of the scenes when Jason's actually Jason. And then you got Ron Sloan and Carol Locatell, the fucking junior and the mother. All the fucking one-liners you get out of them.
You fucking
You got
dildo.
You got the best titties in the whole fucking franchise with Deborah Voorhees on the picnic scene. You got a decent, maybe top 5 best titties with that chick that says "ta-da" in the fucking bathroom while the dude's out there snorting blow and fucking. Then
Right.
you got the, come on,
Showtime.
motherfucker, let's do it. I'm gonna kick your ass. Come on, motherfucker, get started.
Oh, he's starting to call the guy, the two
Yeah.
like greaser guys. Come on, Ratatouille, Chewy, I'm gonna fuck you up. Come on, motherfucker, stop the car.
Oh god, the leather jacket guys. Yeah.
The two, and it's like that. That was like such an odd, out of the ordinary place scene where these guys are like dressed like 50s greasers. And then one
Yeah.
guy's like, I gotta go take a shit, so he just goes off in the woods to take a shit.
And then you got the enchiladas guy. Oh, man.
Enchiladas.
And
You
then
know,
she starts shaking the fucking bathroom stall. He's like, now you're going to get it, bitch.
A lot of people got to remember Corey Feldman's at the beginning too. You know, people,
That's
And
right. He's
Corey
at the beginning.
Feldman popped up in the beginning to do that iconic little dream sequence.
While he was filming Goonies.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
You having an
Classic.
attack or something? What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh,
You got Brady?
Oh,
What's your number 1, Brady?
Number 1, I just it's always been my number 1 since I've watched them. It's Part 4. I love everything about Part 4. Tom Savini in it. The machete through the head and it's going down. It's just so effective. You know, you don't have the one mother. You don't see what happens to mother, but they have it in like a deleted scene where she's in like a bathtub. But that's regardless. But all the girls in it, the nudity, all great. The kills, fantastic.
Judy Aronson, for Christ's sake.
Big
from
fan.
Weird Science.
Crispin Glover, you got Crispin Glover in there before he became George McFly in there. Yeah, oh, good stuff.
And
But-
his iconic dance.
I love when is it Kim Blake or Kimberly Beck, right? That's Kimberly Beck. Beck is the girl, right? The female lead, right? Kimberly Beck, isn't that her name?
I don't remember hers.
When she dives out the window in slow motion.
Yes, that's right.
That's a chick from American Ninja.
I wish they would have shown. Oh, Judy Aronson? Yeah. I wish they would have shown
Beck, yeah.
the mother get killed, though.
Yeah, it was very strange how that all came about, right?
She just was dead. But that would have been cool to see her get killed because she was like kind of felt like a main character there.
But you know, the Corey Feldman thing where he's like bicking his head and like, you know, he cuts his hair pretty quick. You know what I mean? He does that pretty fast.
Well, the best is the one guy with the going down the basement. He's killing me. Ah, he's killing me.
Oh, that
Remember?
yeah, I could do without the bear hunter guy that was
Uh-huh.
looking for fucking Jason.
Ah, he's killing me. Ah.
And you got them all skinny dipping, right? And you know, of course, George McFly's taking forever to get his pants off. Remember, he's like going down the hill, like trying to get them off. But yeah, Part 4, a lot of fun. And they, you know what? Realistically, another movie where a series could have ended right there if they wanted to, the way it went.
Yeah.
But
And that was the plan, believe me, at the time. You know, that was it. It was hyped at the time. That's it. This is it. But you know, it made a lot of money. So,
yep.
What you
funny.
got, Mr. Pat?
well, I know you guys know my fondness for Part 2. Part 2.
I knew it.
You knew it was going to be that one. I love my Amy Steele. I love my second Jason. I love the appearance of Jason as the killer, not freaking Betsy Palmer. Just
Yeah.
very nostalgic for me. So,
You know what an honorable
Easily my
mention is that's not on the list is 13 Fanboy. The great
the
Deborah
Fan-
Voorhees. Yep, she made that movie. It's about for those who don't know, it is a movie about like real life Jason Friday the 13th actors getting stalked and killed by this crazed fan, and it's got a mystery to it. You got to figure out who the killer is and this and that. Top 3, number 1's part 3, number 2 is part 2, number 3 is part 4. That's none wrong with that list.
Nothing wrong with
Nothing
that.
wrong with that, buddy.
None wrong with that list at all. But yeah, watch 13 Fanboy. And I'm surprised that it's not bigger than it is, because if you watch it, it is very true to fucking Friday the 13th movies.
Did you think we had part 5 in the spots that you were assuming we did, or you thought we would have it lower?
No, I think I have faith in part 5. I'm an OG with that one. Like, I know the more people watch it, the more they're going to realize this is what I'm looking for in horror movies. If you can get over the whole Jason's not the killer thing, it has the best things you want to see in any fucking horror movie. Part 6 was fantastic, but it had 0 tits. 0.
I wish they would have went different with the mask, or not the mask, the poster for it. Maybe like do the poster where it looks like it's Tommy Jarvis.
The poster was a
Remember
little
that
goofy, yeah, because it was like this generic like hockey mask you get at Kmart back in like '82 or some shit. But it was I don't know. It got me as a kid, and it just never let go.
Yeah.
But 13 Fanboy, gotta check that out if you haven't. Have you guys seen it?
I haven't
I've
seen
heard of
that.
it.
I gotta
I've
check
heard
it
of
out.
it.
You guys
People
have to
talk about
fucking see 13 Fanboy. I can't believe you haven't. There's probably like 25 different Friday the 13th actors in that movie.
Is it okay to do a watch along even though we haven't seen it?
We should do a watch along with that one.
Okay.
I won't give it away.
Yeah, we could definitely do it. Why not? Hey, do plenty of watch alongs, because we can finish out, doing the Halloweens, and then we go to just different ones after that. I know Michael's dying to do a watch along of Halloween Ends.
I think I'm gonna be sick that day.
I'm calling in sick that day.
I want to do a Beavis and Butthead Do America watch along with Michael.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
I'll do that.
Damn it, boy! Put your pants back on. Don't need to see that.
Yes, 13
Butthead,
Fanboy Day.
This chick says
Check
there's
that
sluts
one
in Vegas.
if you haven't.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, my friends, I hate to cut it short. I got an early flight to do with take Jason to the airport, and we got to go eat some dinner and stuff before it gets too crazy.
Pat, do you want to do we could just do a few comedians next week. You want to just do it next week?
Yeah, we could just pick up some stuff next week. Make it a quick one tonight, and a quickie.
A quickie. Mm-hmm.
You said quickie. Yeah, I mean quickie. It's almost 2 hours. It's not quick. It's right. You start talking, you don't realize. Oh wait, I didn't see that. So 13 Fanboy is on Shudder. I have Shudder. I can check that out.
Yes, please check it out. But we can watch it along too. It'd be great to hear what you guys think of it as it's going.
Well, it's most important, Michael. I hope the weekend sounds like the weekend was awesome.
Sounds like it was good. Sounds like
it was great, gang.
It was.
It was very memorable. I need to recover and then start to reminisce before here over the next few days, and it'll get better and better. But I mean, you got one of your heroes, Michael Myers from the original movie, is sitting there officiating your wedding and giving you all kind of presents and hugging you, telling you he loves you, and just being like the coolest fucking guy you will ever fucking meet in an intimate setting like that. It couldn't have went worse.
Hold on, see if you can see it really close or not. There's a bit of a glare, but
oh yeah.
Yeah, I got a ton of footage and photos to send over. Maybe we can make a little montage out of it or something.
Were you wearing orange ties? Is that right?
We were all wearing red. Yeah, it's black and red.
Red. Okay.
Yep. And you know what music the wedding party came down to?
Friday the 13th, part 3? No, just
Creep Show.
Creep Show.
Oh, Creep Show.
Yeah, we all came down to the piano in Creep Show, and then
the bride's march.
She wanted to come down instead of "Here Comes the Bride." She specifically told me, and this is how you know she's a keeper. She wanted to come down to the Undertaker's theme music.
Whoa!
Nice.
So the fucking the bride comes down to those 2 bells starting out, and it's the Undertaker's theme music, and then she comes up, and then she rips Tony Moran's mask off, and we start the ceremony. It was a trip. Like once everybody gets the footage back to me, we'll have to show you, and we'll put something together.
That's awesome. We came out to the Rocky music. My wife was cool with doing that when we got married. So.
Oh, that's too cool.
I was blessed that day. It couldn't happen with the Halloween music. She's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, I didn't even ask. It would have been like, no.
But you know what? The wedding party came out to the song from Karate Kid. You know, "You're the best." You know, that whole thing.
Oh my God.
Sorry. Anyways, this is your week. We should be talking about mine. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I look forward to talking about it more. I'm getting kind of rushed out of here, but so that was you weren't expecting any of that. There was like a 3-parter to that movie.
Yeah, and then when she's sitting on the bed still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
And
give
he's
away
just
too
he's
much,
like,
'cause we're
he's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
watch
we
that
need,
motherfucker
we need
tonight.
Jason to watch this. I want to hear what
We're
Jason.
gonna watch. That's gonna be our nightcap. We'll watch it tonight. That way, when
Yeah.
fucking 3:30 in the morning hits.
Okay,
the airport.
Jason, make sure you don't say, okay, after that first one, I can't watch the second one. No, if you're gonna watch the first one, you're watching the second one. Sorry. Right, Michael?
There's
you
nothing that I can't watch on TV that I haven't seen.
That's
in
true. Your
real
line
life.
of work. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, your line of work. Yeah,
Trust
forget
me.
it.
Well, guys, I'm doing the dance. I gotta fucking get out of here before
No,
I
you go, guys.
I
I'm
lose my
sorry.
dance.
We're sorry. So
Hey,
Yeah, so we'll regroup during the week. We're definitely on for tomorrow night for our Halloween 4
Definitely.
watch along. Everybody come back. Halloween 4 watch along tomorrow night. Come and have fun with us. And everybody have a good night.
cheers, you guys. I look
Hey.
forward to it. See you tomorrow.
Later.
nice meeting you, Jason.